What's happening, everybody? It's that time of year. It is October, and we are going to be starting a new cycle starting on October 7th, and it's going to run until the week of Christmas. I'm going to give you the details about that, but first, if you want to see more of our content, including movement demonstrations, teaching progressions, and all that sort of thing, do us a favor. Click like and subscribe below. It helps us out a ton. And in addition to that, if you want to help support us, you could go onto our website, TrainFTW.com, and pick up the new Out of Step shirt. It's pretty cool, nice color, a little oversized. I love this quality of shirt. We sent a survey out to our athletes, and in that survey, we asked a few different questions, and the big one was, what do you want to see different in this next cycle? And the big thing that came back, they'd like to see a strict pull-up cycle. We're going to work on that twice a week. They'd like to see a kettlebell cycle where we work on the kettlebell snatch. That will actually be 3 times scattered throughout the week. And they'd also like to continue to see a dedicated upper and a dedicated lower body strength day with accessory work. So those are the 3 main elements that you'll see. But in addition to that, we always include a run workout, a zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4 workout throughout the week or throughout that 6-day microcycle that we programmed for. Let's jump into some of it. I'm really excited personally for the pull-up cycle because the last time we did a pull-up cycle was a couple years ago, and I increased my pull-ups from 24 strict pull-ups to 29, and I was one shy of breaking 30 for the first time in my entire life. That was exciting, and we're gonna use a similar template, which involves doing some volume building and some eccentric and strength building. The way that's going to look is one day of the 6-day microcycle, you'll notice that we'll do a volume-based workout. The second day, we're going to do a eccentric and strength-based piece in addition to another workout. Over the course of 10 weeks, you're going to see an improvement in your strict pull-ups. I really love the kettlebell snatch cycles that when we've done them in the past. And the reason is it kind of comes down to like grip strength, shoulder stability, and lower back and core resistance to fatigue. When we're done with those cycles, generally those 3 elements feel amazing. The kettlebell snatch components of the 6-day microcycle are going to work a little different. What's cool about those is you're going to see it 3 times per microcycle. What that might look like is day 1 is going to be an endurance focus on the kettlebell snatch. Day 2 is going to be a power strength focus where you're going to use a heavier weight kettlebell for more repetitions. And then the 3rd day will simply be a technique day where you'll work on the technique to continue to snatch better and better. We've done this in the past, and we've used a test that I really love called the 10-minute kettlebell snatch test or Secret Service snatch test, where you can switch the kettlebell hands whenever you want, but the goal is to not set the kettlebell down during the 10 minutes. It's difficult. I mean, you think it's not that big of a deal, but just think about your hands alone. Whether or not your lower back gets tired or your shoulder gets tired, your hands, they have to build up some resistance to that constant stimulus of rolling. We're going to build up on that over the course of 10 weeks as well. The upper and lower body strength days, so again, those are going to be on individual days. We're going to go back to something that I really fell in love with earlier in the year, which is the 5-3-1 cycle. It's so easy to implement, and it's so incredibly effective at producing results, which means to me, heavier weights. Expect to see a short main part of your session because that 5 plus in the first week, those reps and sets, they go quick, which means we have lots of time to spend on the accessory work that's going to help you get stronger, but not beat up the body like lifting heavy for more and more sets and reps will. Lastly, the parts of the cycle that generally don't change because we've come up with just a very good recipe for success on a 6-day microcycle are our run days and then our zone 2, 3, and 4 days. In 6 days, you're going to see each of those elements. And when I say 6 days, there's some rest days in there, so it's actually a little bit more than that. But over the course of the 6-day microcycle, you'll see a run that will balance between an easy kind of zone 2 interval work run for around 30 minutes to a more high intensity VO2 max effort. We kind of scroll through each of those things so that you get a broad adaptation to running. But the base of it really comes down to running at a slower pace and then recovering for short periods of time. I love them. If you haven't tried something like this, sign on just for those because they're great. And then of course there's the zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4 days within those 6-day microcycles. And the zone 2 is kind of a topic that's gotten beaten to death recently, so I don't want you to take my words and think that I'm trying to apply it to something so that I fit within that box. In reality, we're base building using a multimodality approach, which means kind of CrossFit-esque where it's constantly varied. But the basis of it is longer cardio efforts with other exercises built in that don't jack the heart rate up. And we generally do that from 45 to 60 minutes. It's a nice sweat session. People always appreciate that after getting beat down in other workouts. And it's an opportunity to just build your aerobic base up. The other two, zone 3 and zone 4, those will look more like CrossFit workouts where you'll see, again, mixed modality, varied elements that are very targeted to pair well with the accessory work that you'll see at the end of those sessions. Those are really well thought out. The zone 4 may be interval work that might be considered a HIIT session or a VO2 session. Either way, you're gonna enjoy those ones. Everybody loves a little CrossFit throughout the week, and that's kind of what that looks like. Let's wrap up how this is gonna look. On that 6-day microcycle, you're going to see an upper and a lower body strength day. You'll see a run day, dedicated run day with some lower leg accessory work. You're gonna see a zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4 day, which is the rest of your 6-day microcycle. Built within that, you're going to see some kettlebell snatching and some strict pull-ups in order to improve those capacities. Specifically, 3 short parts of the workout session will be kettlebell snatches throughout the week, and then 2 pull-up components you'll see throughout the week in order to build the capacity in the strict pull-ups. And of course, we always give a good warm-up and we always do accessory work at the ends of the day. The accessory work's gonna look a little bit different because of the kettlebell snatch and the pull-up work, but those are gonna be paired into kind of shoulder days and back days. You're still going to see days dedicated to a bro split where we're gonna do shoulders one day, arms, legs, blah, blah, blah on specific days. That way you can let other body parts rest so we can hit it hard the very next day. Thank you if you've made it this far for watching this video. If you'd like to sign up for this next cycle, you can do so by going to TrainFTW.com. You get a free week, so if you don't like it, you can get out of there. But I guarantee you're gonna love it, so thank you for following along. And please, again, do us a favor, click like and subscribe, and we've got more videos coming this week, so take a look.